Hello, this is Soundout here, back from another Flash Roulette review. Today we're looking at Batman Unlimited Wave 2. Much like DC Comics Unlimited Wave 2, there's only 2 figures in this wave. Now, what do we have here? We have 2 figures that are interesting, to say the least. We will begin with the most recognizable of the 2 figures, that is the Dark Knight Returns Batman. Now this is the Batman as he appeared in Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, where a retired Bruce Wayne comes back into the role of Batman. And there is no doubt that the recent releases of the direct-to-video Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2 movies had a bit of help getting this figure out. Now what's interesting about this figure, if you take a look at this guy, he is not, in the comic he is huge. Because Bruce Wayne never stopped weight training apparently, because he's still freaking huge. He got bigger because he got older. So, he doesn't look like he uses a standard DC Universe body. And he doesn't. He uses a modified body from another certain successful toy line from Mattel that may or may not be based on an 80s cartoon. Yes, he uses the He-Man body. Or to some extent, very similar in a lot of the things used the He-Man body. It's not the exact He-Man body, but it's pretty freaking close. There are some modifications, and it is used the dark side in DC Unlimited Wave 3. So you can see we got a new head sculpt, which looks really nice. And you get the painted bat detail, you get the new stuff here, but it is a He-Man body through and through. There is no getting around that. You do have a nice matte cape, which really works in this case. But overall, you do see, if you know toy lines, you will look at this and be like, hey, is that He-Man dressed up as Batman? Well, it kind of is. But it looks like the He-Man body. There are some differences, though. But I can tell you that the articulation is still pretty good. You get the ball joint neck. You got the shoulders that move, the biceps that turn, the elbows that bend, the wrists that swivel. You get the waist that moves. You get the ab crunch that moves. Pretty good because it's the He-Man ab crunch. He's got these hips that turn and rotate. You got the knees, you got the ankle pivots, and you get the boot rotation. So, standard articulation for a He-Man figure. Holy crap, that's weird saying considering this is Batman. And overall, you can pose him pretty well. He does come with one accessory, that is a Batarang. First used with the Wave 1 Crime Stopper Batman. So, yay. He has a bit of an issue holding it, because it's kind of smaller than his hand, really. But there you go. That is the Dark Knight Returns Batman. Very interesting figure, to say the least. Moving on, let's talk about the figure that I know nothing about. Planet X Batman. So, Planet X Batman is a weird figure in origin. It's based on the character of, what's his name? I want to read you up the back of the box. Real name is Tolano. He is from Zur-in-Arg. That is a planet where he has superpowers. From the episode of Batman the Brave and the Bold in which he appeared, I assume he's kind of like Superman in Batman's clothing. Why is he carrying a baseball bat? Why is his clothes kind of tattered? Well, Grant Morrison brought the character back, because this was mostly a Silver Age character. We brought him back during his run on Batman, and made him some kind of crazed person. So, the bio's telling me about the original version, but the toy's telling me the Grant Morrison version. Which is it? It's both. Zur-in-Arg Batman, or whatever, Planet X Batman did not have this tattered cape. He did not have the messed up, head thing. He had his costume was nice and clean. That communication device did not exist on the Grant Morrison version. That was from the original. This baseball bat was the Grant Morrison version. So visually, the figure is the Grant Morrison version. The bio and the communicator are the Silver Age version. I hope that makes sense, because I'm not explaining it again. But anyways, it's still very strange. He's got a new head, which I do appreciate, on a ball joint, which works. He's got the shoulder movement, he's got the bicep swivel, he's got the elbow bend, and the wrist swivel. Yeah, the baseball bat can be removed. But you got it there. You got the waist swivel, you got the ab crunch, you got the legs, thighs, knees, hip, ankles. But really, how are you supposed to pose a character that is literally so obscure and has not appeared in much? So much so that the DC Comics Encyclopedia doesn't have an entry for him. Why was this made? Why? I appreciate an obscure character getting a figure. Why was this made? And why did it come with Bat-Mite? Because I haven't read the Grant Morrison story, I'm sure this involves in something. It's the same Bat-Mite, new face, black costume instead of blue. Why? I don't know. This is so obscure that in my infinite knowledge of the DC Universe, I really don't know what's going on here. This is a very, very specific figure to a certain storyline that I have not read and therefore cannot provide good commentary on why he has all the stuff he has. So, there's that. Batman Unlimited Wave 2 is weird. You got a figure that most people recognize nowadays from a very popular storyline that's been referenced multiple times. And then you got Planet X Batman, which I don't even know if I can recommend to anyone, because Dark Knight Returns Batman is awesome. I can definitely recommend it to anyone. It is a nice figure. Planet X Batman is a nice figure. But I have no clue who he is. He's supposed to be the Silver Age version, but he's molded after the Grant Morrison version. Pick one. Don't make both in one. It doesn't work. So, I have no freaking clue about Planet X Batman. It is a weird thing. I was confused why they're making it when they announced it. But there is a lot of new molding. That's the other part. A lot of effort was put into the figure, and I do like it. I just find it weird that it exists in a retail line. But there you go. Batman Unlimited Wave 2. Kind of strange. Just kind of strange. But overall, recommended for the most part. I guess. It's just Planet X Batman. It's baffling. Dark Knight Returns Batman? That makes a lot of sense. Planet X Batman? No. Be sure to check out HeroTaku.com for comic book news and more. Until next time, saying goodbye. Stay tuned for tomorrow.